Welcome to Where There's Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your Make Complexity Casual Gamer.
I'm Stacy. I'm your non-gamer gamer.
And today we are here to bring you another initial impressions, this time of Tokaido from Stonemaier Games, who recently acquired this last year from Funforge. It's brought to us by Antoine Bowser. Plays 1 to 5 players in 45 minutes. As far as I understand, the game is the same as it was from Funforge. They just added a solo mode, made some clarity on some things, and kind of first of all, the rule book is a better quality rule book from what I understand, and just added some clarity to some of the things. So in Tokaido, you are playing as a traveler in Japan in the days of old, and you are traveling between Kyoto and Edo, which is now known as Tokyo, across the Tokaido, trying to make this the most prosperous journey. So let's get to theme. I think we gotta go down to the table for this to show the theme. So usually we don't, but I think for this one we definitely need to go down to the table. So, here are your travelers. So you have your travelers, and you have this path. This is the Tokaido that goes between Kyoto and Edo,
which is a road.
Which is a road. Yep. And you are traveling and going to different locations that have like different food and shops and the baths, and you're encountering different people. And I think the theme of this, as simple as the board looks, really comes through just based on the different locations you're visiting.
And the cards, the way that the cards are drawn out, and the food and everything, we'll get into all of that later. But with all the cards, everything just shouts out this region of the country.
Of the world.
Of the world, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I guess the country too. Country of Japan.
Yeah. Yep. And so everything has its purpose. Everything fits into the theme very well.
Yeah, it's a very simple one-way track, which we'll talk about, but the theme definitely of traveling between the two cities and having all these different things that you are doing, I think really comes through. All right, the components. Let's start first with the rulebook. This is one of the slight changes that Stonemaier Games made, and it's just they use their quality of paper that Stonemaier uses, and they made some slight changes, I think, in the rulebook as far as clarity and some things. But as far as the rulebook goes, as with all Stonemaier games, this rulebook is just wonderful. Just the quality is
very really, good quality,
really
paper.
Good. You've got your meeples, your travelers in 5 different colors. These are the 3 we had. You've got your scoring pawns. We got your shop cards, your bath cards, your encounter cards, your food cards, and then we got the panoramic cards for the 3 different panoramic regions. And then you have your bonus cards, which are in-game and end of game. And then you have these traveler cards, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And these are a nice, thick, very thick
Those are cardboard. Great.
These are really nice quality thick cards. And then I did purchase the I did purchase the nice metal coins, which are available through Stonemaier. Otherwise, they're just cardboard ones, but they are the same thickness as this, so they are a good quality. And then you have your little player tokens here that go into these, which we'll talk about in a little bit, into these circles here, just to show what color you are. And then your reference cards, as Stonemaier does very well. 2-sided reference cards. 2-player game, it is really nice because we can have 2 of them in front of us and see both sides at once, so that is always nice.
I can't hold it.
I can't either right now. Artwork.
I like the artwork in this. It's very, like Ian said earlier, it's very simple, but it's very traditional, and it's very well done. There we go. So there's an example of a couple cards. These are your bonus cards.
These are your traveler cards. that you can use to add a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of asymmetry. So here's your travelers.
Set up a.
So there's all your travelers. Then you have your 3 different panoramas.
So when you collect these, you'll make a panorama.
So
you
this
might want
is
to put those under there.
I don't know if they're gonna fit.
Okay.
We can try. So yeah, we're not gonna see all 3. Oh, and it's gonna wash out because they're green. Maybe on the blue. So you got 3 different panoramas. You've got your mountains. You've got your ocean, your water. And then
this is your water.
And then I can't remember what it's called. What is the 3rd panorama called? Where's the bonus card?
The land, the sea, and the mountains.
So you have your paddy is 3 sections. Then you have your mountains is 4 sections here, and then you have your sea, which is 5 sections. So those are your different panorama cards. And then you have your different cards up here, which you will collect during the way. When you go to these different spots, we'll talk about you collect these. And then so here is your souvenirs. So you have a lot of different souvenirs that are possible to get. We'll show you a few of them. And they each have a different thing that they are. So a different type. So you can see down in the bottom right, you can see there's a different type for some of these. So there's a lot of them. I believe this is the, actually I'm like 100% sure almost like that this is the original artwork. So, and the backs of the cards are great too. So, and then you have your, here are your baths. So these just all look the same. These ones are just points. And then you have your encounter cards over here. So these are different people you might run into on your trek. And they give you some different abilities. And then your food. Just a very nice, simple art style. But still fairly detailed for how simple it is. All right, I think. Oh, then you have your bonus cards. So you have some bonus cards here for your different things, which we'll talk about. So you got 4 different bonus end of game bonus cards here. And then you have your 3 in-game bonus cards, which relate to the panoramics. And so, yeah, the art in this, I really like the art in this. It's got a really nice style. I don't know. There's just something about it. I really love these visitor or these traveler cards. They really give you this sense that you're in Japan. You know, it has a really nice look to them. The art on the board itself is just the little symbols on each one. And then you got your temple up here. So yeah, I like the artwork in this. I really like the artwork in this one. I like the backs of them all have a little bit to them as well.
It's not overdone to where it takes away from the cards that they're on.
Right.
You know, it just just like you, I can't put my thumb on it, but it's just nice. It's yes.
Yep. A very good artwork. All right, for setup. So they do advise in the first game, if you've never played before, to simply give each player 7 coins to set up. Beyond that, you can choose traveler cards. So what you do is each person takes 2 traveler cards at random. And then you pick which one you're going to be. You put your little token in there. I'm just grabbing one. You put your little color in there. And then this tells you how many coins you're going to start with. And these give you some asymmetry. So like mine would start with 6 coins. Like I said, it does give you a suggestion in your very first game just to do 7 coins. But this gives you some asymmetry. So Mitsukuna would give me, this is one of the changes. They added some wording to the back of these cards, Stonemaier did, to clarify. So Mitsukuni earns 1 additional point for each hot spring card and each achievement card. So this guy's going to give you some extra points for each one of these and each one of these.
And Kinko, each meal card purchased by Kinko costs 1 coin less.
Oh.
Meals that cost 1 are therefore free.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's the beginning of it. So then you set up your board, you separate out your shop cards, your bath cards, your encounter cards, your food cards, your 3 panoramic tiles. They are numbered 1, 2, 3. So with 2 people, we just had 2 of each. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You put the smallest number on top, and then you place your meeples over here in random order at the shop at the inn, and then you put your counter markers. Now, in a 2-player game, you do have an extra meeple in here that you just randomly place in here, and then that's the setup. You give each person a reference card. You place the bonus scoring nearby, and that is the setup. Fairly like really easy setup. Just put a couple decks of cards out,
and everything has its place.
Yeah, so on the board it tells you exactly where to put things, which is really nice.
For people like me, that comes in extremely handy.
I like it because it fits on the board.
Yes.
Like, I really like the fact that there's spots on the board for all those cards, and you don't have like decks of cards laying around the board. It makes it a really nice setup. On to the gameplay. So on your turn, whoever is furthest back along the trail is going to move to a spot and do an action. If you move to a shop, you are going to draw 3 of the souvenir cards, and you get to purchase 1 or more of them. So you're going to use your coins to purchase them. These are going to give you some abilities and things, or some points. So the first one you get 1 point, and then if you get a second one, you're trying to get a set of all 4 types. So if you get 1, it's 1 point. So then if I get a second one, this one would be worth 3 points. If I get a third one in a different set, it's or in a different type, it's worth 5 points. And if I get another one that's a different type that I don't have, it's worth 7 points. So if you can get a full set, this is worth 16 total points. When you go to the temple, when you go to the temple, you have to donate to the temple. So you do that by donating 1 to 3 cards, or 1 to 3 coins, and you get 1 point for each one of those. At the end of the game, whoever has the most gets 10 points. Whoever has a second gets 7, and third gets 4. When you go to the encounter spot, you draw an encounter card, and you apply its effect. It may give you some other cards. It may give you some points. It may give you some other things. When you go to one of the panorama sites, you're going to draw the next panorama card in it. So you start with the 1s, then you go to the 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s. So you're going to draw that. So all of the panorama sites. So you see the mountain is there. Then you have the paddy there, and you have the water there. When you go to the farm space, the yellow space, you just get 3 coins, which is very beneficial to you. And then, what did I miss? The bath. Did I say the bath? When you take the bath, you just take the top card, and they're worth either 2 or 3 points. When you get to the inn, you are required to stop in the order that you are. As you're moving between inns, whoever is furthest back gets to take the next turn. So in this case, that's not a. So in this case, the gray is the extra player. The blue is the purple Stacy. Stacy is the furthest back, so she would get to go next. So she could take this one, take an encounter, and she is still the furthest back. So it's got this really nice mechanism that you see in some games. I think some people call it the ratchet mechanism, because you're kind of ratcheting your way to the forward. But whoever's furthest back does get to move next. In a 2-player game, when you have this extra player, whoever is furthest forward gets to move this extra player wherever you want, and that can be a huge part of the strategy, as in like blocking off where someone else can go. So when you get to the inn, whoever is the first person there is going to draw 1 card for each player plus 1. So you first take 4. So Stacy's going to take 4 food cards. She is going to get to choose first as to which one she is going to buy. And then she's going to pay for it. And that's every food card is worth 6 points. Then every person after that does the same thing. But now I would only get a choice of 3. Now, in a 2-player game, if this player is the next one to go, one of these randomly gets discarded. So right now, there's a 1, a 2, and a 3 cost one. They're all 6 points. You're hoping to get a bunch that only cost one because they're all 6 points. Doesn't matter how much they cost you. Um, but if that one got discarded, all of a sudden my choices would be limited. So if the extra character gets there before you, you get to one of these randomly gets discarded. And you keep doing that through each set. You always wait. Once you are here, you have to wait until everybody is at the inn, and then whoever is the last one there, now they are the first person to go to start the next route of the Tokaido. Um, and then you go until everybody is at the end, and then you go to final scoring. There's a lot of scoring during the game. Like we said, there's scoring when you put coins up here. There's scoring on these. Some of these have scoring. When you get your food, it's 3 points. During the game, whoever is the first person to complete each one of these panoramas gets a bonus card that is 3 points each. And then there's some other scoring in game. I think some of the encounters gave you some scores and stuff. And then
how many coins you have on food gets a bonus.
Well, that's at the end. That's at the end. That's at the end. So then at the very end, once you've gone through the game and everybody's here, you're going to be at some point on the track. Then you get some other bonus. So then there's some other bonus scoring. So there's 4 bonus scoring cards. There is the Chatterbox, and the Chatterbox is the traveler who has the most encounter cards. So whoever got the most of these. So that's one thing you want to work towards. Then there's the collector. The collector is the traveler who had the most souvenir cards. And then there's the gourmet, who's the traveler who has the highest sum of coins on their meal cards. So while you don't want to spend a whole lot on your meal cards, if you get a 3 on there at some point, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you have more coins, then you get that bonus. And then the bather is the person who has the most hot springs cards. Oh, hot springs. Oh, the hot springs, not the baths. You're bathing in the hot springs. And then you count up your score, and the winner is the person who has the highest score. Your replayability. All right, back to the big screen for replayability. What do you think about the replayability on this one?
This has a lot of replayability. It all depends. I mean, most of it is luck, just like most games, but it's going to come down to which, I call it my superpower, but which random card that you pick.
Which traveler card.
Yep, yeah. Which traveler card you're going to pick. How the people in front of you are going to move if they block you, if you block them. Which cards you take from the top. It just is all chance and random of how everybody's going to do it. And I think that it's just going to be what it is. I mean, you have a good amount of cards for each one, and they're going to come up in different orders. So I think you could play this over and over and not have the same game twice for ever.
Easily. I mean, first of all, the traveler cards. There's 10 different traveler cards, all with asymmetric powers. That's going to change your game plan. Because you need to go towards certain spots. Other people are going to try and block those spots from you, because they can see on the card down here what you need to get to get your bonus. So they know that this traveler is going to the hot springs. So he's going to hot springs. So people are going to go like, oh, I'm going to block that. And if you don't need to go there in a 2-player game, you're going to maybe try and make that extra player go to the hot springs. Then it does suggest that you can also play the game backwards. So you can go from Kyoto to Edo, but then you could go from Edo to Tokyo, and the spaces are in a different order. So that right there, just playing one way or the other way, changes the spaces. So like the first 3 on the left side of the board, let me go back down to the table. The first 3 on the left side of the board is a shop, a temple, and an encounter. Whereas there, it's a shop, a panorama, and a different panorama, and then you have another panorama, and you have your panorama here. So the way you're going is different order of things. Do they have the same number of spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, so they don't even have the same number of spaces. So that you're getting here at a different time. Um, so that could be a little interesting too, just to go back and forth. I suggested to Stacy that, hey, maybe you could just go. You could make it an extra long game. You could go from Kyoto to Ito and back and take the whole journey as one game if you really wanted to kind of like make it a little bit longer of a game. So I could see that being an option. But yeah, I mean with the different cards and the different travelers and the fact that you can go one way or the other way on the board, I think there's a decent amount of replayability with the game being different and not getting old,
Mm-hmm.
especially for a lighter game. A lot of time with lighter games, the replayability is mostly in, okay, is the game fun before and how many times you can play it before it's just the same. This one, even though it's a lighter game, does have a lot of stuff that is going to be different when you play. So I think the replayability in this one is really, really good.
And with the traveler cards that you get, each one start, well, not with a different amount of coins that you start with, but I think the lowest amount of coins that you can start with is six,
There's a
and it
five. There's
goes
a
up.
five. Oh, there's a three.
Oh, so you can
Oh,
start with, how many coins you have at the beginning of the game that you get to start with your
there's a
traveler.
two. There's a
Ooh,
two. So what?
can
I'm
also hurt
curious.
or help you as well. What's that one?
Oh, when she arrives at the inn, Satsuki receives the first meal card from the meal card pile for free.
Oh,
So they get it from the pile
but
for
you only get to
free.
start with 2 coins.
Yes, yes.
So
So you
hopefully
got
the
to get the,
farm is open so you
but
can
you also
start
get the
there.
first one for free, so you
Yeah.
never have to pay. Receives the first meal card. So I wonder if you get two meal cards then, because then you can pay for one. Like you get the first one from the pile for free.
I don't know.
I don't know. And then there is one that starts with 9. So everything
Yep.
from 2 to 9, which is a huge difference in this game. In this one, oh, this one starts with 9, and this one's actually pretty good because this one says during each encounter. Uh, oh, you played with one. Yoshiyasu draws 2 encounter cards and keeps ones. So you get to draw 2 of these encounter cards and keep one instead of just taking the top one. So you get a little more variability. So that one, 9 coins and that's a good
That's
one.
pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, so I think for a lighter game, this one has a ton of replayability with it being a different game. Like I said, a lot of lighter games, it's the same pretty much game. But this one, there's a ton of different replayability with it being a different game. Moving on to final thoughts.
Final thoughts. So I liked this game. Um, I like the simplicity of the game, but it's not too simple to where somebody with a higher gaming level wouldn't enjoy it, I think. This is kind of a family oriented game to where the younger kids will have just as much fun playing as the adults. I like that the board is simple, but yet it has a spot for everything to go, so you don't have to guess about where you're supposed to put everything. I think this is a win-win for me. I'm generally like Stonemaier games are a little too heavy for me for most of them. But this one is right up my alley, and I would probably say, "Hey, let's play Tokaido. Let's get that out. Put it in there as a good nighttime game."
It plays very once you know how to play it. This
Yeah.
this first game it took us a while, but I mean we played the last one in like 30 minutes. So this one you could easily have set up and play it pretty quick, like right after dinner or right before dinner when we get home. Yeah, no, this is a good one. I enjoy this one. I'm glad Stonemaier picked this one up. I had heard of it. I don't know if I really looked into it much. Um, I'm glad that I get to kind of share. Now it's weird saying a Stonemaier game because it was originally from a different company and Stonemaier has picked it up. I'm excited to try the solo mode though for this because Stonemaier does have solo modes for everything. So I am very excited to try this one solo. But it is another game that is brought to us now from Stonemaier that I can play with Stacy. And Stonemaier has been, those of you that follow the channel know that Stonemaier is one of my favorite companies. Their games pretty much all work for me. So this lighter line of games with this following Finspan. Um, and then we have a couple older ones that we have to get to the table that are on the lighter side. It's just nice to be able to play some of these games with Stacy from one of my favorite companies and see her enjoy them as well. I really like this game. I like a game that's I like my games that make me think a little bit more. This one still makes you think because as
Mm-hmm.
you're placing your your meeple and you're moving ahead. You're going, okay, if I place it there, I'm going to give Stacy 2 moves in a row before I get my next move, and I'm going to give her some good things. But if I don't go there, like you're trying to figure out where you can go to benefit you the most and hopefully not benefit the other person as much. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. Like if I go to this spot, in our last game, I had a ton of stuff on the temple because I had a traveler who allowed me to put an extra coin on the temple. So I was already in first place, and there really wasn't a way for me to lose it. So any temple spaces were pointless to me, but it also made it pointless for Stacy to need to block it. Like with the extra character, once she got a coin on there, she knew she wasn't going to put the extra character on a temple. I never really had a chance to, so I couldn't force her to go to a temple. So she knew that she could move a little bit further ahead to spaces she really wanted. And I wasn't going to go to the temple because it didn't really do a whole lot for me other than give me some in-game points. But by that time, I was running low on coins. So, yeah, I really like this one. It is a nice lighter game. It's fairly quick to set up, just a couple decks of cards. Yeah, this is another hit. I'm very glad that Stonemeyer picked this one up and that we ended up getting it because I don't know if we would have had Stonemeyer not picked it up. I had heard of it, but I never really looked into it much. So yeah, this one's another hit.
I like it. What's the age group say on the box for this? Do we know? Oh, did
Yeah,
we get
nope, the box is right there. It says 8 and up.
There you go. So it
So
is a good family game.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I think I mean, it's really okay. Which picture are you going to? And
Yeah.
you're taking the card.
Yeah.
And on the board, there are spaces. Some of the spaces have more than one spot in a 3-player or in a 4 and 5-player game. In a 2-player game, um, there's only one space at each. In a 2 and 3-player game, there's only one space at each. But in a 4 and 5, some of them have 2 spaces. So
Yeah.
you can have more than one person that goes there, and that person is actually considered further back if they're the second person
Yeah.
there. So
And if you can't, for the younger kids or for people like me who can't remember what cards these are supposed to be, your reference card tells you exactly what
Yep.
each location does for you. It tells you how many points you get or how many cards you have to draw. So I think this is an extremely family friendly game.
I do too. I do too. This one's a good one. I like this one.
I like it.
All right. Thanks for joining us once again. This has been Where There's Wheels.
There's a play.
My name's Ian.
I'm Stacy.
And we'll see you next time.
At the table.